right, hi everybody. It's Stacy with R&R Ranch. Today I have with me Baker. We were planning on doing our book reading this morning out in the woods actually, near our trees, but because it is raining, we're unable to do so. However, we are going to take just a little walk out to the woods when we're finished with the book because there's something special that we want to share with you out there. Also, just so that you all know, we will post this reading to our YouTube channel, which is randrranchminis, and you can always go back and watch it over if you want to, or watch it for the first time if you missed it live. And I also want to let you know that next week is going to be something a little bit special. We're going to read a book, and after we read the book, I'm going to teach you, those of you that don't know, how to write a letter. So we are trying to work on a couple of lost arts, and the first lost art is the actual physical book that you can sit down and read rather than something digital. And the other is the art of writing a letter. And the fun part about that, you guys, is that once I teach you how to write a letter and address it, I'm going to give you our address for you to mail it to me. And for everyone who mails me a letter, I'm going to mail you a letter back. And you're going to get something very special with it. Okay, so that's next week. You can pay attention to, your parents can pay attention to our stories. Or if you're allowed on Instagram, our Instagram has absolutely nothing that could be considered anything that a parent would not want a child to be around. So it's all good family fun and good family viewing. So with that, Baker is going to listen to this book for the first time in his life, and that may be the first time for some of you as well. It is a classic children's story called The Giving Tree, and it's written by Shel Silverstein. This is what a picture of the author looks like. He wrote this story. There are very few words in this book, and the pictures are just sketches. So there's no color pictures to look at. They're just like somebody would sit down and draw on a piece of paper or maybe on a napkin. So I'm going to show you the pictures as we go along. If I can get away from Baker from scratching his neck, because he seems to really enjoy this. Are you gonna listen, little man? All right, so we're gonna start. Now, if you remember, you guys, if you watched Black Beauty last week, I told you that when an author writes a book, if they are a really good writer, they touch your heart. And that's what a writer tries to do. They try to relay emotions, and they try to get you to feel something. And this book, while it has very few words, has a very big message, and we'll talk just briefly about it at the end before we go on our little field trip into the woods. Okay, so if you're ready, and if you're ready, then we're going to get going. Okay, here we go with The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. I'm going to show you the pages as we go along on this one because it's going to be fun for you to see. So also, you guys, when you start a book, sometimes they'll have a dedication. Like this right here, it says, "For Nikki." So he wrote this book and he said, this is for Nikki. We don't know who Nikki is. Maybe Nikki is his little boy. Maybe Nikki is just a special person in his life. Maybe Nikki is a dog. We don't know who Nikki is. But most books will start out with a dedication, and that makes that person feel really special. Okay. So here we go. Wish me lucks, moms, that I want to get through this. I used to read this book to my kids. I could never get through it. Once there was a tree. and she loved a little boy. Can you see the little boy's foot coming onto the page? And every day the boy would come. See how excited he is to see her? He's waving. He's happy. Her leaves, her branches are stretched out to welcome him. Oh gosh, I'm starting to cry already. I need my glasses. Every day the boy would come, and he would skip the page. Yeah, and he would gather her leaves. See how her leaves fall on the ground? He picked them up and make them into crowns and play king of the forest. Oh, he looks like a king, doesn't he? He looks serious. He's got a crown of leaves on his head. And she's standing over him. And he would climb up her trunk. See? You could just see his feet and his arms, tossed his shoes on the ground. And swing from her branches. Look at that. There's his legs. He's way up in that tree. It's like they're having fun. And eat apples. Look at all the apples he's eating. And they would play hide and go seek. He's hiding behind those boulders, those big rocks. It's like she says, I found you. And when he was tired, he would sleep in her shade. See how he's sleeping down there? And the boy loved the tree. He's giving it a great big hug. Her leaves, her branches coming down, almost hugging him back. Very much. And the tree was happy. Look, he even wrote on her trunk, me plus T. That was the tree. That means he loved her. But time went by. See how big the boy is already? And the boy grew older. Now you can see the boy laying down next to a girl. And above where he wrote me plus the tree, he wrote me plus YL. That's somebody else's initials. And the tree was often left alone. See how her branches cross down? Like she's sad. She's lonely. Then one day the boy came to the tree, and the tree said, come boy, come and climb up my trunk and swing from my branches and eat apples and play in the shade and be happy. I'm too big to climb and play, said the boy. I want to buy things and have fun. I want some money. Can you give me some money? I'm sorry, said the tree. I have no money. I only have leaves and apples. Take my apples, boy, and sell them in the city. Then you will have money and you will be happy. And so the boy climbed the tree and gathered her apples and carried them away. And the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time, and the tree was sad. And then one day the boy came back, and the tree shook with joy, and she said, come, boy, climb up my trunk, swing from my branches, and be happy. I'm too busy to climb trees, said the boy. I want a house to keep me warm, he said. I want a wife and I want children. and so I need a house. Can you give me a house?" "I have no house," said the tree. "The forest is my house. But you may cut off my branches and build a house. Then you will be happy." And so the boy cut off all her branches and carried them away to build his house. See, he's got all of her branches. And the tree was happy. Even though he just took all of her branches, she was happy because she wanted him to be happy. But the boy stayed away for a very long time, and when he came back, the tree was so happy she could hardly speak. "Come, boy," she whispered. "Come and play." "I'm too old and sad to play," said the boy. "I want a boat that will take me far away from here. Can you give me a boat?" "Cut down my trunk and make a boat," said the tree. "Then you can sail away and be happy." See how old he is? Still has her trunk. She still has on there where he wrote he loves someone else, and also where he loves the tree. That's still there. And so the boy cut down her trunk all the way down, except for where it says me plus the tree. And he made a boat and sailed away. And the tree was happy, but not really. It's all that's left. And after a long time, the boy came back again. "I'm sorry, boy," said the tree, "but I have nothing left to give you. My apples are gone." "Oh, my teeth are too weak for apples," said the boy. "My branches are gone," said the tree. "You cannot swing on them." "I'm too old to swing on branches," said the boy. "My trunk is gone," said the tree. "You cannot climb." "I'm too tired to climb," said the boy. "I'm sorry," sighed the tree. "I wish that I could give you something, but I have nothing left. I'm just an old stump. I'm sorry." "I don't need very much now," said the boy. "Just a quiet place to sit and rest. I'm very tired." "Well," said the tree, straightening herself up as much as she could, "well, an old stump is good for sitting and resting." "Come, boy. Sit down. Sit down and rest." And the boy did. And the tree was happy. The end. So, why do you think the tree was happy at the end? When it was just a little stump and had nothing on it, Didn't have a trunk, didn't have leaves, didn't have branches. But why do you think the tree was happy when she was a stump? She was happy because the boy finally came back and sat on her. So why do you think they call this book The Giving Tree? Who was the giver in this book? Was it the boy? Or was it the tree? It was the tree, wasn't it? The tree was the giver. She gave her branches. She gave her leaves. She gave her entire trunk so he could make a boat. She was the giver. And she was happy when she gave. And the boy was the taker. He took everything off of her. And he was never happy. Remember, he would come back time after time, always wanting more. And always wanting something that would make him happy. And he was never happy. But the tree gave because she tried to make the little boy happy. Even as he grew to be an old man, he tried to make her happy. So you have to think about, which one are you in life? Are you the tree that's the giver? Or are you that kind of a boy who is a taker and is never happy and is never satisfied? Think about which way you want to be. That's what this book does. It makes you think, which way do you want to be? A giver or a taker? You can think about that. And now I'm going to show you something in our woods that relates directly to this book. Okay, so let's walk on out to our woods. It stopped raining, which is nice. And I'm going to let Baker come with us just until we get out to the grass. Oh, it's still raining a little bit.
Yeah.
That's okay. All right, well, Mary, you can just stay here for a minute, okay? All right, so let's go to our woods. Grass is really long. All this good rain helps my flowers grow, so I'm happy for it. But I'm disappointed that I can't do certain things that I wanted to do outside today. And I know a lot of you are disappointed. You want to do things outside too. So, out here in our woods, we have a lot of trees. We have a lot of really beautiful trees, and we love our trees. In fact, when we put these paths in through the woods, my husband and I, we personally went through and we had to mark which trees had to go and which trees stayed, and those that stayed had more room in the ground with their roots to grow. So we were very careful about keeping as many trees as possible because we love trees. Look at how it's raining much harder now, and this tree is giving me a lot of protection. But this right here is actually what I wanted to show you. This is a sculpture, and this is a tree. The brown part is the tree, and then these red birds are called cardinals. And the thing about cardinals is that when a cardinal comes to visit you, it is a symbol of somebody whom you have lost, a loved one that is coming back to see you, let you know that they're thinking of you. So these are actually symbolic of
I'm gonna cry on this one. My mom, my dad, and my father-in-law. So this part makes me happy. This down here, can you read what it says? Once there was a tree, and she loved a little boy. And that's from this right here. So this whole sculpture is really, really special. And it has a lot of things. I mean, I read this book to my kids all the time when they were little. And of course, this has a lot of meaning. So I am hoping that you guys got out of this a story that may have been better read by someone else rather than me, because it gets me every time. But for the little kids out there, I want you to know that this is what a good writer does. A good writer, and this is again the writer, makes people feel something. And he definitely made me feel something, and maybe it makes you feel something too. So next week, I'm not quite sure what the book is going to be. I don't want to do a sad book. I want to do a happy book. So I'm going to look and find one, and we're going to learn how to write letters, how to address them. You're going to mail me a letter, and I'm going to mail you a letter back, and I'm going to send you a little something special that goes along with what we're doing, okay? So you guys have a great rest of your day, whether it's raining or not. Enjoy it. Go do something fun. We love you, and we will see you right here again next Wednesday at 10:30. Bye-bye.